Well, this is a bit unexpected, isn't it? Oh, well, obviously, they were going to replace the GH5 at some point because it's a bit OAP at 4 years old. But when I say unexpected, we weren't expecting it to land right here, right now. And when I say we, I mean me, obviously, in front of the camera, and loud behind the camera. So we're totally unprepared for this, but that's fine because right here, in my hands, I have got the GH6 specs written on a piece of paper. So it's got new Venus image processor. 10-bit cinema 4K, 60p. That's a bit confusing because I've got 620p there. Don't know why I've got that. 60p, 422. Okay. And 4K 120p, 10-bit.
Oh.
HFR, VFR.
Oh. So that's no audio.
Good point. 5.7K 60p video. Not quite 6K, it's 5.7K. 0.3K out. Oh, and that's the end of the specs.
That's all.
And that's coming at the end of 2021. And Leica 25 to 15mm f1.7 is coming soon. It's in the works. Oh yeah, oh yes, and of course there's a GH5 Mark II, which is my specs holder for the GH6.
Oh, focusing on the background. That's, oh.
Focus test. And this is out now. Well, I think it's out now, but it's in my hands, so it's available very soon. 6 months before the GH6 comes out.
And I'm shooting with one as well.
Yeah, we've each got one. But there's a GH5 II, GH5 II. What's new exactly? Let's go check it out. Let's go.
This episode of Super Bokeh Bros is sponsored by Squarespace, the place to go to for setting up your own slick-looking website.
Setting up these bits, I always lose these bits. I don't know if you. I've got a load of them at home.
Well, I always put it right back into the box.
Yeah, I do that with the body cap and lens cap. But these ones I always end up putting on my table and then I forget. And I've got a collection of them at home. Yeah. Maybe I should sell them.
Well, I do have some.
Limited edition. I'll tell you what though, this is pretty handy. We should do all reviews like this. You don't need to remember what to say. Just, oh yes, the GH5 is a fantastic camera. It's all written on my notes here. Boom, you can't see it. Now I'm going for the style of shooting which I did before with the GH5 in that I've got no vari-ND. I'll just let the camera pick the shutter speed. And it's not because I've forgotten or anything. I never forget anything. Oh, memory card. So yes, here we are. What's new? That's not changed though. Do you remember that? What was that? Guy Mark II. Alright, so the body looks pretty much the same as before. Probably some very minor changes, but it looks like a GH5. That's because it's still called a GH5. They probably utilise the same body, but they've used the parts of the S with the red dial and the red button, record button up the top there, just to make it look more serious as a recording tool.
Started from GH5S, I think. Oh, it's focusing on something else.
That's on continuous autofocus. You can just see how it performs.
This is on continuous autofocus and with the AI human recognition. Pretty good at it now. It still recognizes car, even the face isn't showing. Not now, but sometimes. But if you turn around, still recognize your head. Oh, not now. Oh, yes. Somehow I think this is not as good as S1 and S5.
That would be strange.
Just my initial thoughts. And especially we are shooting with a prototype camera. Maybe that's why.
It's prototype.
Yeah, we should
maybe
that.
not prototype, but pre-production.
Yeah, sometimes when you test it, it works really well.
Yeah.
But then if just like the S5, when I have it for a few months, you will start to see, oh, sometimes it just don't work.
The continuous autofocus is mostly good apart from when it's not. Point is, although improved, don't expect it to be suddenly magical AF. They have improved on one area that they already did very well in though, however.
Yes, I mean, one of the reasons why I liked the GH5 was because the IS was fantastic for vlogging. When you're walking around, there's not many other cameras that you can just walk along
See, I'm one-handed.
like that. You know, I should hit record first and then vlog like that, you know. Do that.
Especially I'm using the Leica, Panasonic Leica 8 to 18 millimeters. No IS in the lens. It's all sensor shift.
And with Power OIS in this lens and IBIS, it's a double whammy. It's you know, twice as good.
Not twice, a little bit.
Yeah, just better. All right, that's that's misleading. It's got 6.5 stop equivalent. Don't know how to measure that. They've got some fancy tools to measure that. 6.5 stops. Even better, I can't remember how many stops the last one was. Let's just say it's 5 stops. Let me just mention all of it. The last one was 5 stops. Last one was 5.5 stops. Last one was 6 stops. It'd be funny if it was 4 stops. Last one was 4 stops. Last one was 4.5 stops. The last one was rubbish. The last one was not as good. No, I think we got everything covered there. Sorted. That Vietnamese is really good, by the way.
For real.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
No. Hashtag not nerd.
To add a bit of variety to our test footage, we decide to attempt to hit some white balls with a stick.
Let me see. I don't want to hit you.
That's really cool.
They do this kind of thing, don't they? Like that. That's not bad. It went somewhere.
Okay, I have to say I haven't played this for a long time. A few years.
Locke's got some experience because he's rich.
Yeah, if I still remember how to, like, I did this or that.
Well, I think you're facing the wrong way now. Of course, we are here for a reason. We're talking about the GH5 II. GH5 II? What's so new about it? It's got a brand new battery. Same battery as the S5, which is nice. But I didn't really have many complaints about the GH5 battery before. It used to last a good... What's going on?
It comes with a charger, which is quite rare these days. It's pretty cool too in that it shows power levels without even plugging it in, and it's conveniently powered by USB-C. On that note, the camera can be charged and powered by USB-C while recording, which you couldn't do with the GH5. Another change is that Cinema 4K 50 or 60p 10-bit is now possible internally and without any recording time limitations, which hits the sweet spot, even if Locke isn't managing to hit any spot.
It is quite bizarre, isn't it, that now they've got the GH5 II and then they've also announced the GH6 at the same time. GH6 is coming out in 6 months' time. This is imminent, and they've basically waited 4 years for 2 buses to come along at the same time. Although we've had a GH5S, but this is, I don't know what you call it. I mean, it's a sequel. It's a sequel to the GH5.
Update.
But why do it? I mean,
4 years later, a small update.
And also, it's kind of unheard of that they announce a brand new camera, and at the same time they announce a camera that is going to be replaced by the new camera that they've just announced. So this is already old tech.
But by now,
before the GH6 comes out in 6 months.
actually maybe I should try some vlog. Now I am shooting HLG.
Oh shit, I forgot to change the picture profile.
You're shooting at standard.
Damn.
Let me change from, now it's HLG vlog.
So you got the picture profile button here.
Oh yeah.
You didn't press that?
No, I have different custom mode.
Okay.
I have set up custom
Picture
mode.
profile button, which is handy. You just cycle through it.
The Panasonic colours are looking good as always. The cine light profiles are pretty fantastic. You can pretty much use it straight away or with very little colour correction. Can't say the same for most other cameras with their cine or flat profiles.
I think the dynamic range on this is better. It looks better.
Than GH5.
before you could see like a clear fall off from where, say, that's the sky is, especially when it's grey skies and the buildings.
Well, probably, yeah, because when I see it now, it's like, it looks like any other camera, but when I use the GH5, I would sometimes see like, wow, the sky is totally blown out.
And that's a good thing. I did notice it looking at the camera LCD screen, but when looking at it on the big screen, I did appreciate the dynamic range from the GH5 II indeed. Talking about LCD screens, it has the S1/S5 style recording red frame, but that's pretty much it really.
Oh, hang on. It got live stream built in. Wow, it's the best thing ever since sliced bread. But
No.
yeah.
Sliced bread is good.
You totally just subconsciously miss out the live stream feature. Because Kai really
Yes.
don't know why. I mean,
Yeah, don't know why.
but then yeah, it got live stream, which that you connect the camera to your phone, and then you use your phone to live stream it. So yeah, it's basically that.
It's self-explanatory, isn't it?
I mean, it's not the first camera to do that, and it isn't like there aren't solution like some little box connect to HDMI to any camera you've got, and you can live from that box. Yeah, it's nice.
And that's pretty
that's
much it, isn't it?
Yeah.
So buy the GH5 II.
If you want
It's
to.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I don't know if that's enough, but there were a couple of GHs which were definitely enough for me before.
So you have used GH4, and
Yes.
you own
Yeah.
a GH4 and GH5,
Yeah.
and that's some people like really like micro four thirds cameras.
Yeah.
I can't get the bad low light, the lower dynamic range. Micro four thirds people just like something about GH5, and they always talk about, oh, it's great.
I wasn't like that, but you
Well.
know, there's benefits. The IBIS, and then the 4K 50 at that time. There's not many other cameras that did 4K 50.
Actually, it's kind of like, no, is it the only one
I think so at that time. That
At
was
that
quite a
time.
big thing.
at that time? Yeah.
So
Well, that's the thing. I don't do slow motion at all. Almost.
I mean, I guess I did it at that time because I thought, oh yes, because I can do it.
Yeah.
And you can get quite with the IBIS. If you want to do B-rolls, you don't need a tripod. It's just so
true.
steady. It's just so stable, and that was one of the great things at that time, and still pretty much now when you're shooting with a Sony, and you're doing handheld, it's still a little bit shaky. You can't get it as stable as this. And okay, the noise not so good with micro four thirds sensors, and the dynamic range, but I mean, I thought for YouTube, how much quality, what level of quality do you really need? But everybody shoots with like fancy cine cameras now, so that's kind of increased the need to up your game when it comes to the quality.
That's really true. That the Panasonic camera is just it just has the best IS.
Yeah.
My hand is shaking, but you can't see it in the video.
Cold? Is it the cold
No,
or the
it's
heavy?
it's quite heavy. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. GH5 is so heavy.
It's also a bit bigger than the full-frame S5, wider and thicker, slightly heavier too, only that it uses much smaller and lighter lenses than full-frame, especially all those cheap, tiny manual lenses, and you can still get great IS performance.
Well, this is quite a hefty camera. It's a solid camera.
It is.
It's
it
kind
is.
of weather sealed.
Not kind of. It is really
Kind of weather sealed.
Well, up to
well,
some.
actually saying that, I was going to say I don't know for sure, but I've had the GH5 out in really bloody heavy rain, and it's so bad that the water went inside the viewfinder.
Wow.
No problem. Well, I don't know. I sold it, so maybe whoever bought it has got a camera that's not working anymore. But you know,
But I mean, it's a shame. There's only one thing to make Panasonic camera perfect for video.
yes,
It's just one thing.
because I like the colours, the colour,
Yes.
the colour signs, whatever you want to call it. The colours look good.
Yeah.
It's a workhorse of a camera. Everything, the specs are good. Stabilization, fantastic.
Oh.
Even on the full frame cameras, really
yeah,
good.
Yeah, exactly. Even on full frame S1, S5,
but then the focus.
But then the focus, I mean, they're getting it. They're just slowly getting it. My S5 is good, like 99% of the time. But that 1% of the time, it's just,
What's going on?
what are you doing? Come on.
So that is the GH5 II. I mean, there's not too much to it. Maybe it takes 2 pieces of papers to write the new specs on it. It's good, but very minor changes. But who exactly is this going to be for? It was different when I bought the GH5 because it was for new filmmakers, people who don't want to spend too much on the cine camera, but you can get a good image. It's a good workhorse. It's a great tool for taking video. But these days, you've got loads of cameras, loads of video cameras to choose from. You've got Blackmagic, you've got Z-Cam, which are also micro four thirds. Then you've got all the full frame options. So there's no shortage of choice for affordable cameras that take good video. So this is going to face a lot of stiff competition because 1499, it's more affordable than, say, an A7S III, but Fuji X-T4, not too much different. Z-Cam, maybe a little bit more. And then Panasonic's own S5. So I don't know, I'm trying hard to think who's going to buy this.
Will I buy it? Nah. And that's even though I really like the image that you get from the GH5 II. It definitely has better highlight roll-offs than before, and it has little tweaks to make it a better GH5. But when they've announced the GH6 that's coming out soon, my mind is only on that. And I'm sure most people are just going to skip this news and wait for the news of the GH6. If you want to set up your own website, online store, just your own domain, it's super easy to get started with Squarespace with a slick, easy to use interface filled with a plethora of templates to choose from and with 24/7 customer service to help you out if you need it. You can give it a try with a 14-day free trial and 10% off your first order by using this link and discount code.
The beauty of video editing is that we can just cut all of this out, the ones that I miss.
Okay. Oh!
Oh, it's gone away.
You basically blend in.
I'm in like camo.